everybody, what do you think when you think of early 2000s parody movies? What do you think of scary parodies of horror movies? That's right. We're talking about Shriek, if you know what I did last Friday the 13th. Right here on Mallard Matinee.
What a terrible name.
Oh, terrible. I mean, I saw that they actually went through some different versions of the name, but maybe we'll get into that in the actual episode. Yes, everybody, it is Bad Movie Month. We are talking about some terrible, terrible movies here, or maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't want to jump the gun too far. But our last movie, if you haven't watched it yet, was Holmes and Watson. We were not very favorable with that movie. This movie I picked because, I looked like it might be a jolly good romp that is not very good. But before we get into the actual movies, Shriek, I'll call it Shriek from now on because it's a terrible mouthful of a movie.
I am not saying that whole title every time.
Before we get into that, where did you hear about it and who are you, sir?
I'm Lewis Lighting, and I'd not heard of this movie until you suggested it, basically. You're like, oh yeah, my pick is Shriek, if you know what I did last Friday the 13th. And I was like, that sounds terrible already. You said it was on Tubi, so I just went to Tubi, saw it, and like, okay, it's kind of like it's mostly Scream parody, I would say. I know the title implies a few other things, but aside from, I know what you did last summer, nothing really else comes up.
Yeah, exactly. There's some others that are definitely in the movie. None of them are as prominent as Scream and as I know you did last summer.
Yeah, so I watched it just a couple days ago. That's my first and only experience. Like, I've never heard of this before.
And I don't know if I'd ever heard of it before until a couple of months ago. I was just scrolling through videos on YouTube, and someone did a comparison between this movie and another movie that came out the exact same year. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this one, but Scary Movie. Scary Movie came out the exact same year as this one, and this movie actually was made before Scary Movie, so it might shock you there too. So it actually wasn't copying Scary Movie; it was trying to do its own thing. And Scary Movie obviously just was that much bigger, had better production value, had the Wayans brothers behind it, maybe some slightly bigger names, I guess. No, I wouldn't say much bigger names, but I had heard about it just a couple of months ago when a guy was doing a comparison, and there are things that I think I like in this movie that I like more than Scary Movie, and vice versa. But we'll maybe get into that. Don't worry, it's not a lot. We'll get into that. So I watched it for the first time this time, just for this month of bad movies. I didn't know if it was gonna be bad. Honestly, it just looked like it was gonna be bad, so that's why I picked it. And I was a little bit interested because I don't know if you know this, but I'm a bit of a Scream fan, and I knew that there was some Scream references in this movie. Very much like Scary Movie. It follows a lot of the same beat as Scary Movie. The way it starts and all that stuff. We can go into some of the actors if you want to. We don't really need to go like deep into. I'll say some names that are in it. I don't have to say if they're good or bad. I'll just say that are in. So there is Tom Arnold, which is probably the biggest name this movie has.
I guess, yeah. I think maybe Coolio.
Yeah, and then Tiffany Thiessen. Yeah.
There was someone else I saw briefly too. This pops up at the end. Can't remember who it is right now. But
those are the biggest names that this movie has to offer. There's also the guy. Oh, Artie Lang was in it as well too.
Artie Lang.
Yeah, so he played Mr. Hasselhoff. And the only other one that I thought was notable to even mention was the character that played Slab. Simon Rex played him.
Okay, he looks kind of familiar, but I couldn't tell.
He's from Scary Movie 3.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
It's kind of funny to go from this to an actual Scary Movie.
Is he like the dad or like the stepdad or kind of thing in that?
He was like dating Anna Faris's character. Okay. He was basically like Eminem's character.
Okay. He's actually someone I thought was okay in this film.
He was probably my favorite character, honestly.
Written terribly, still, but
he's meant to be adult, and he plays adult well, and I think he actually fits this type of movie pretty well. Which I think maybe was why they saw this and were like, hey, we could put you in Scary Movie 3. Well, one of the better versions of what you did in that crap movie.
Yeah.
But it's not a very good movie. It starts a very similar.
We're going to talk about the main cast.
I didn't really get their names though. I could say the parody characters that they were like there was Boner.
It's pronounced Bonner, sir. The O is soft.
Bonner,
Yeah.
who's basically like a parody
virgin,
of like American Pie type movies. He's basically one of those types of characters. Then there's the girl with the short hair who you think is maybe a lesbian through the whole movie, which is I thought she's probably the worst actually actor of the group.
Kind of.
I thought she was pretty flat, and it almost seemed like every time she acted, it was just like one take, and she wouldn't do any more scenes.
It
seemed like that.
The other girl looked kind of the same to me, like that. Like her character was just basically like looked dumb, and that was it. That's all she had.
The blonde, the bimbo, who had like all these different like STDs and stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say she was just as looked the same. She didn't look the same.
No, I mean her facial expression. She just kind of like all she did is kind of like make a confused, like I don't understand. Like the whole throughout the whole movie, that was her whole deal. I was like, okay.
Yeah, and then Slab was like we said, and then the guy that played Dawson.
Yeah.
Would have been the main character.
I think he maybe is kind of like passable too.
He's passable, I'd say. He wasn't bad. He fit the movie for his character. He kind of was like a Dawson Creek stand-in. Obviously, his name's Dawson. That was the idea. He's like the new kid to school.
I thought he was more of a Tommy Jarvis.
Tommy Jarvis. Who's Tommy Jarvis?
Like in the Friday the 13th kind of movies, he's like a kid who ends up surviving like a Jason attack.
Oh.
And then he's the one who ends up being able to kill him at some point.
So that's Corey. Corey Haim.
Well, he's played by different guys throughout the series.
But I know. I've seen those movies, but he started off as a kid. It was Corey
Feldman.
Yes, it's Corey Feldman. The first movie or two. That character's first movie. I think it's Corey Feldman, and then he grows up and got.
I feel like that's what it was kind of supposed to be.
I don't know.
This movie doesn't really do anything besides like the screen stuff. Like they hint, they put in like a token reference to I Know What You Did Last Summer. But that doesn't even really factor into the story at all.
Well, no, they reference it constantly, though. I Know What You Did Last Summer. They go back to that part of the story.
But they reference it, but it means nothing for the grand scheme of things. Like
no,
it had nothing to do with anything.
Honestly, literally, a lot of this has nothing to do with anything. It's just the killer, because the killer had nothing to do with what happened last summer or whatever.
Yeah,
what happened last.
Why did we waste so much time with that? That's what I was.
That was just maybe it could have been. And I will say that Scary Movie did that much better with the whole like hitting the guys. Guys, no, I'm okay. I'm all right. And then he throws the beer bottle right into the body and knocks him out. And then they throw the body out. Here it was like a clear like a deer ornament, a lawn ornament deer.
Yeah, it was terrible. You could even see like the part where like the legs like screwed on or attach on.
And I guess it was the budget for this movie. That's its biggest hindrance. I think was the budget was so low that it looks bad.
But the deer wasn't really a deer. It was that other guy in a deer costume.
Yeah, it was it was Dawson, right? Yeah, it was Dawson. At the very end, you find out that his dad was like beating him or feeding him as a deer or something. It was weird.
Whatever was going on there.
Like a weird kink or something that he had with his dad.
It was kind of reminding me of like the scene in The Shining when you see like the bear like going down. That was reminding me of like because they kind of do like a look to the camera kind of thing right for the explosion and everything.
Yeah,
it's just all so stupid.
It was.
But we're getting off the character or cast too much here.
What else is there to say about the cast? We talked about the cast.
I know.
I mean, like we mentioned, I think Slab and Dawson were probably the most okay characters in here. The main actor, the big name ones, like I said, Tom Arnold, Tiffany Thiessen, and Coolio. They're not in the movie as much as these characters, and they're almost like unnecessary.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Especially Coolio, who was like the principal formerly known as whatever he was called.
The administrator formerly known as
principal. Yeah, that's what it was. Which was just a Prince stand-in, which is
so
okay.
Weird.
We're just doing Prince joke, but there was a lot like thrown into. There was so many things. It is definitely like a 2000s movie. You see, like I said, Dawson's Creek is a thing. Coolio, the fact that he's in there being a Prince stand-in, a lot of things were of its time, and the jokes don't work as well now. I don't know if they worked very well then either.
Yeah, there's stuff in there that's not even of its time. Like they're making jokes about Grease. That's like way before 2000s.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of things. They just threw in whatever. It was like anything you think of. They just tossed it in the movie.
It's just
like even like Baywatch. Like Baywatch like has nothing to do with like horror movies or anything like that.
It's just constant jokes. Like it doesn't even matter. Like they don't have to be good at all. Just throw in every joke you got. It's just like that was all it was.
I will say like it starts out similar to Scary Movie in that it's doing a Scream parody. You got a girl at home and she's got a phone call from a guy who's stalking her inside the house, asking her questions, and then he's in the house. They run around this giant cake that's in the kitchen. For could have been a good joke, but it's such a static camera, they don't sell it at all.
Oh,
and she doesn't even look like she's scared at all. She's just like running, and there's no emotionality to it at all. It's just a constant thing that's going on.
So say it lets you know in the first 5 minutes when that happens, like this is all the movie has to offer. It's just terrible.
Yeah, it was badly done.
That running around the cake thing probably lasted 30 seconds. It felt like fucking 5 minutes.
It did. It did.
Like, oh my god.
And I'll say, like, a lot of the jokes in here could be good jokes if done properly. Like, I think that different cameras, different quality of shots. Like, if it had, like, I don't know, if it had the Wayans style a bit more, this could have been a more serviceable movie.
I don't know. I mean, I do think the camera work is bad. Like, there's times where like shit's happening, and like someone's getting killed by the killer. Like, that's a running joke because he's killing guys.
I was going to mention that. Yeah.
And like someone's getting killed by the killer in the background, but the people in the foreground are like in the way of what's going on.
Yeah, like Tiffany Thiessen was talking with Tom Arnold, who are characters basically from Scream. Gale Weathers and Doofy. He was Dewey. He was playing Dowie. They were like, talking to each other, and yeah, the killer comes and kills like the cameraman in the background, and you can barely even see what happened.
What's happening?
So I was like, that could have been a good joke had they shot it better. If they framed it well.
Different framing, different positioning, blocking, and all that.
Yeah,
like they didn't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do this. Like, okay, yeah, first take, we're good. Don't worry about it.
That's a lot of the movie. I feel like it was just first take Jake. You know, we'll do the first take, and that's all. We're gonna run with it. We're just keep going with it, and that's why this movie went straight to video. It was originally supposed to be slated for theaters.
Oh.
It was supposed to be, and like Lionsgate like bought the rights to it, which is a big freaking movie theater or movie company. But yeah, it obviously didn't have the same quality as a scary movie. And then I'll just starts off with like even like the CG. CG, like the bug went to like the bug zapper at the very beginning. That looked horrible. You couldn't do any better than that. Or like the title screen of Shriek, if you know what I did last Friday the 13th. That looked horrible. I was like, I could do that better on my phone. A better title card. That was so bad. It's just, you could just see the cheapness of it.
Oh, everything was fucking cheap in this. Like, there's a part where a guy shows up. He kind of looks like the guy from I Know He Did Last Summer. He's got like a hook hand, and he comes to the door to give to like the wealth, like the poor fisherman or something. But his hook hand is just a piece of plastic. Like, it's something you get at the fucking like San Francisco or whatever Spirit Halloween costume. Yeah. Not realistic at all.
Yes, but
it's junk.
Some of that could be played off as a joke, but you can tell that this movie just was on a shoestring budget. You can just tell that's all it was. I right away, I'm like, okay, they're in the school, and there's the one teacher there, Mrs. Peacock was her name. I saw there was a candlestick. There's okay, so there's a Clue reference there that they obviously were doing for the video.
I was thinking Mrs. Peacock, but I didn't really get anything more than that.
Yeah, I just saw there was a candlestick right next to us. Okay, there's a Clue reference, and then right after that, we got Coolio coming out as Prince, basically. And then pretty soon after that, we saw a little kid dressed up as Chucky. That was Beans from what the hell's the show? I wrote it down. Beans from Even Stevens. It was a Disney Channel show. Yeah, I used to watch the show. It had it was a funny show. It was a funny show back as a kid.
But yeah, like everything here is like, you know, you think of something like something comes into frame.
Shia LaBeouf was in that show.
Okay, something comes into the story, and it's just like, think of the very first thing that comes to mind. That's a joke. Put it in there. Yeah. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. And like principle. There we go. That's how that worked.
Yeah.
There's stuff that I don't fucking get. Like they show like some kid drinking at the fountain.
Yes.
But the fountain's got like different nozzles for like vodka, gin. Like I think maybe one of them was water, but like they're all alcohols. I'm like, are they saying that kids drink a lot or that they allow alcohol in school? Because like I don't know why that's there. Like,
I didn't get what the comparison was there for what they were supposed to be referencing with the fountains having the different alcohols.
Well, then you see like in the beginning that they're going like to the school, there's like a garbage can and someone's in the garbage can grabbing stuff, and it's just like, what's the joke there? Or a guy selling, I think he was selling watches. There's a bunch of shit, like just random shit. Yeah. It kind of feels like the Airplane or Naked Gun films, but their jokes are like better planned and everything.
Yes, they were. Like I'll even say like we mentioned like how the framing was so bad a lot of time. A lot of times they're panning past some stuff, and it's too quickly. It's something you got to read. Like there was some jars that had stuff written on them, and I literally had to pause to see what they said, to see what the joke was, and the joke wasn't really worth it. But
it did not give me enough reason to pause. I saw that too, and I was like, you know what? I'm not wasting my time pausing this. It's all stupid, lame stuff.
And I'll say, like, I thought the music was terrible too. They could have, if they put a little more budget into some like decent background music, some songs. This was just like some garage band that.
Oh yeah.
No, and I'm not even talking about the very end when they literally had like, the garage band playing. I'm talking about like the music itself. It's just like some no-name stuff that you've never heard, and it doesn't work at all in the movie.
It felt like they said, "Hey, like take this song and do like your own version of it," and it's terrible. Like it's not a good band doing a song that's trying to like rip off something like all of a sudden a shoestring budget, so none of it's good.
Yeah,
like the music was just awful.
I feel like had they had better camera work and better music, this could have been actually a decent comedy. I do honestly feel that, because there were some jokes in there, and I know you mentioned the grease thing. I thought that was one of the best parts of the movie.
That was only what I was gonna say. That's the one part that made me smirk. That's the only thing.
Like Slab, the character, is like working on this like Model T type car inside the the shop, and then he's like starts doing it's like automatic, it's aeromatic, and they're like, what are you doing?
His friend's like, this is a piece of shit, and he's like, no, it's an automatic. And he gets up on the table and starts dancing and stuff, and they're just looking at him. I like that too. That was the one joke I was like, okay, because that's exactly how it would be in real life. Be like,
exactly, dude, you gay?
People don't just start dancing with you. They're like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
I liked it because I thought that actor sold that. I thought he's definitely invested in like dancing and doing like a whole number for a Grease number. And then it transitioned into a Christine also parody as well too. Where the killer's coming after him with the car.
Well, I asked I wrote down, I was like, is this supposed to be like a Monty Python? They rub off the Monty Python and the Holy Grail joke where like you see the car kept coming, and then it resets, and the car is coming, and then it resets.
It's clearly not getting any closer.
They did that with Monty Python with like the Black Knight when he goes to the castle. And
then they quickly stab her.
Yeah, and she's up there stabbing. But then this one they have like
a police officer pulls him over.
Like, okay, I mean, I could see that happening in like Airplane or Naked Gun, but they would just be set up so much better.
Yes. It was like I said, the joke itself wasn't bad. It's just how they did it. It just didn't quite land. But I did like the whole Grease thing and the Christine thing was okay. That was probably the best part of the movie, is that whole part with Slab there.
Yeah. At the end, like I don't know if you want to go through this step by step, because the whole movie, middle of the movie is just filler. It's all just filler in the movie, like middle, because like they do the whole "I know what you did last summer" thing, but it doesn't play anything into why this guy's going around killing them.
No,
it has nothing to do with it. But cut towards the end when there's like a house party, kind of like Scream, and then there's guys who are like, "No, I watched a whole bunch of like horror films, and they describe how a horror movie works." Well, here they do a parody movie, like how a parody movie works and all this stuff. And I kind of like the idea of that, except you were so bad at the parody movie, you have no right to say, "Oh, I can psychoanalyze this." And
it's too bad. Like trying to compare yourself, because they mentioned Airplane and Naked Gun, and I forget what the other one they said as well too. I wrote it down, but yeah, they mentioned like three like clearly superior movies as parodies that they would reference.
Although they wanted to watch too,
which I like, because like you said, in Scream they do watch a bunch of horror movies, and Jamie Kennedy's character is like psychoanalyzing and saying like, this is what you don't do in a horror movie. And here it's like, this is what you shouldn't do in a parody movie.
In Scream it feels earned, because they are kind of making a good horror film as they go through it.
Yeah.
Whereas here it's like you don't understand what a parody should be, and you can't say that, "Oh, I understand, and this is why this is happening," kind of thing.
Hot Shots is the other one. Yeah, I wrote it down.
Oh yeah. I like the joke about, "Oh, you see if you pause it just right, you can see Leslie Nielsen's penis." It's like, okay, that was decent too. Like, if that was a real thing, I'd be looking it up.
I gotta watch Naked Gun again. I don't remember that scene. Yeah, but I know they do reference I Know What You Did Last Summer like a bunch of times, actually 5 different times. I like that every time it is different version. Like every time they're telling the story, it's their version of the story. Like when Boner's doing it, he's like all handsome. He's got like a beard, and all the girls are fawning over him. Or when Slab does, he's like super smart,
sophisticated.
He's got swirling some wine. He's not like this dumb dolt idiot. I like that, and they all had like different reason for being scared. At the very end, he's like no dumping. The one girl saw, and they dumped the body.
Well, it was because her grandma she was supposed to give her X-Lax. She didn't give her grandma.
Yes,
X-Lax.
it reminded her of
that
her mom or grandma not having a dump.
And that dumping sign, how it was like no dumping, and then it goes like what they writing was too long, so they had to go like down. I'm like, that was just the props.
Was that on purpose?
Yeah, that's...
or it's just like fuck it, stick it on. Or like the one girl like ripped off the tag of the mattress, and they all had like different reasons for being scared. Well, the killer was after them.
I had to give the letter to the whatever, the governor or whatever, the mail letter to save his brother. She forgot to do, kind of thing. But I was gonna say, and then like they do eventually like they try to kill him the first time, and they all get away. But it's the second time that most of these main cast members do get killed. But there's a part where like Slab dies and his veins, because first of all he's juicing apparently, which Slab does not look like a guy who he's not buff enough to be juicing.
He looks like a guy who he's fit, but he's not like roided out.
Yeah, but like the vein effect was kind of cool. How his veins were kind of like
throbbing.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah, and in this movie, I liked that. None of like the main characters that die, none of them die by the hand of the killer. They actually like Boner dies by like having a heart attack because
he does die.
He gets knocked out or passed out, and then because the Viagra pill he took like kept his heart pumping, I guess, or something.
Yeah. You never see him take Viagra. But...
And then like Slab dies because he was injecting himself with the steroids.
Yeah.
The one girl, she was
bees.
Oh yeah, it was the bee stings. That's what it was. So technically, like the killer wasn't actually killing any of his targets. It was all by accident. But the fact that he actually was like killing people in the school, in front of everybody, I guess he was killing people. So I kind of wish they like fully went into that joke where he never literally killed anybody, but he's called the killer.
Yeah.
But he did get some kills in there.
But like, I didn't like. There's so much stuff that it's so glossed over. Like it has no purpose and stuff. Like first of all, that girl, the slutty girl. Mm-hmm. That's Barbara. I didn't even know until the end when they're like, Barbara's dead. I was like, her name's Barbara.
That's what her name was.
Yeah. And then like earlier on, they established that she is Tom Arnold's sister, like their brother and sister.
Yeah. No, they did say it earlier when they first met Tom Arnold.
Yeah, I know they did say it, but like, what was the point of that? That makes this...
something just so they could say that this was their house, because at the end it was her place and his place. Like I don't know. It really didn't matter. It didn't matter.
If it could be tied into like knowing that the real killer was this twin cousin thing, like that she had a knowledge of it, but none of that is brought up either. It's like, why do we care about the familial relationships of these characters when it plays no role?
It didn't play any role.
The one role it does play, we don't even find out until you just bring it up, and it's like it's useless.
Like Dowie, Tom Arnold's character, and Amber Thiessen's character, they're like away from the rest of the group for like most of the runtime of the movie. They're usually just outside of the school or outside of the house. I'm wondering if they just like tacked on a bunch of their scenes. Like if they were like,
I think they just wrote something in for them.
That's what I'm wondering, because these are like the bigger names of the movie. They just kind of like added them in secondhand. Like, hey, you guys want to fucking be in our crappy movie?
Oh, they thought Tom Arnold's star recognition would help them.
If you look at the poster for like Tom Arnold's like front and center, I think Tiffany Thiessen is there, Coolio. I don't even know if they have any of the main actors in that poster. If you look at it, and it's that just shows you that they really didn't have any they didn't have much to go on with this movie.
I feel bad because Tom Arnold gets to be like one of the he's a killer. He's well, it's not his main character, not Dowie, but whatever his cousin.
It's his cousin. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what his name was.
And they even joke about that, like, oh look, see the mustache.
Yeah, the pencil drawn mustache.
That's just drawn on, he says. Like they're.
I like that they actually said that it was drawn on. It wasn't just a terribly done mustache.
Yeah.
It's just drawn. It literally is just drawn. And I liked all the different masks that they kept removing.
I did not.
I was on board with that joke. That it's like, okay, is it this guy? Is it this one? And it was like 30 different masks that they went through.
But Tom Arnold should have been like a side character, but they make him like, he talks a whole bunch at the end. He describes like why is like the family relationship made him kill or whatever, whatever bullshit that was. Like, you don't give him that big a role.
No, they didn't do much at all to develop their character or make any sense of the relationship to his cousin and all that crap.
And then they give like a bunch of different endings, but like
yes,
they all still apply.
That was so unnecessary to have all the different endings, because It was basically just continuing. It wasn't like any special like blowout moment, a surprise.
It wasn't alternate endings. They all are just endings that happen.
Yeah.
But one happens later than the other.
Yeah.
And then there's like even an after credits one, which is like, why'd you make me wait for this?
Was it after credit? What was that the credits one? I know the one where the killer was like doing like jujitsu and he was like a samurai, so it was one of the endings.
Well,
the very it had all their title cards.
The words like written up of what happened.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, after the credits, you learned about all the different people that died and people that were still alive.
Whatever stayed dead. It's like, yeah, okay, great.
Yeah, exactly. It was dumb for sure. I'm gonna see if I have anything that was worth noting. Oh, we had a rock paper scissors reference in the last movie. Well, we had a rock paper scissors reference in this movie as too. When I think it was a slab. He was in a room with the killer, and they were doing like rock paper scissors. They would pick up like rock, and then they would pick up like scissors, pick up a paper, and then they would smash, and they'd get like a knife, and then the guy would get like a gun or something.
It was a broken bottle, and then he gets a gun.
That's what it was, broken bottle. Yeah.
Then he smashes the gun somehow.
Yeah, it's like damn, he forgot he shouldn't smash the gun. There's also Porky's reference as well too, when Boner like drilled the hole into the change room and the shower. So. That was also similar to like in Scary Movie with the stabbing through the hole, but in Scary Movie it was a penis that went through his head. And here it wasn't that.
The guy gets his knife stuck in the hole, and then he's trying to get it out.
Yeah, he's like trying to get it out.
And it
was a little bit funny that he had the mask on while he was showering. Like, why would he be showering?
That mask looks so terrible.
The mask is horrible.
If this came out before Scream or
Scary Movie.
Okay, so then Scream makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're both referencing Scream clearly. It wouldn't make sense. How would they have all these references to Scream?
Yeah, I guess.
Scream just ripped off Shriek. Wow, I thought that was an original property.
But yeah,
And other things that made no sense. Like, obviously they're doing like an MTV thing at the end where they were being chased by the killer, and they had like these pop-up things.
Oh yeah.
That went on a little bit too long. I got the joke, yes. Okay, it's an MTV thing that they would always do with their videos back in like the early 2000s. Also, like there was Batman reference with like punching, like those sound effects for no reason that came out of nowheres.
The killer's. When you go back to the killer's mask, the other thing was like it was so big, like
it was too droopy, and like rubbery.
Well, it's like it's kind of like the alien from the Aliens, like its head, but like it's just so massive, like up and down, like it's basically touching his chest and going up like another like 6 inches over.
I feel like those are like the cheap masks you would have got like in the dollar store or something back in like the 1990s after Scream came out. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe they just bought one of those crappy freaking masks and that they just used it. Like originally it started off as a Jason mask and then it got on fire.
And that's the thing, like this movie has Friday the 13th in the title, and it has almost no references to that.
There's that, and then there's a reference where they're saying it was on Halloween. Yeah, I know it was also Friday the 13th.
That doesn't make any sense. It's impossible.
Well, he's dyslexic.
Yeah.
And like, okay, that's a little bit of a joke there. It's like that doesn't make any sense, but it kind of makes sense because he's an idiot. Okay, I don't know if you have much more. Oh, the cat joke was kind of funny too. At first, again, I had to pause because I didn't get all the cat names. Other names were right here: Dead Horse, Lame Gag, and Cheap Shot. And you knew that was going to come back later on because in a lot of scary movies, that's what they do. They have cats always like jumping out, like and scaring. And so it was like, that was a lame gag, and it literally was the cat's name, Lame Gag. And the last one that pops up was like, man, I just want to beat a dead horse. That's the cat's name. He wants to beat him because he jumped up. So I thought that was a bit clever. Even though like, the names on their collars were terribly like written, it looked like it was like, paper, and it was just like pasted on, like terrible. And then they also did a similar joke from Scary Movie with what's her face is Bridget. What the fuck was her name? The hot one that's the adult, the girl.
I'm forgetting now.
Barbara. They also did a similar joke that Scream did, or Scary Movie did, with the fake boobs. So she got her fake boobs like popped out, and there was like a fish in one, and there was like a fruit.
I thought it was like a
medley
jello,
inside.
Like a jello.
Maybe that's what it was, like a jello medley. Whereas in the first Scary Movie, the guy stabs her in the boob, and then the fake tit comes onto the knife. So that's another like. It's a lot of things that were similar in the Scary Movies. It's just they didn't do things right. It was just not really well done.
Yeah. Like
there was even like a Home Alone reference when he's the toboggan down the freaking stairs inside the house at one point.
The bad
guy. And then at one point I was like, at the very end, I don't know, it made no sense to me why this was a thing, but they had hot dogs for sale, and they had two different prices, $1.50 for American, $2.50 Canadian.
It was just because of our exchange rate.
But why was there
I
a Canadian rate? Like, this wasn't in Canada or something.
I could sit here and tell you that about like so many jokes. This whole book would be filled if I just did every joke that didn't make sense.
No, that's the only one that confused me. Every other joke I got, it made sense to me. But yeah, that's pretty much what I had for this movie. There were jokes that I think were just not competently done. They were decent jokes that could have been done in a better movie. I don't know if you have more that you want to talk about.
No? Like everything just felt like filler, like all just bad jokes in the middle. Like
yeah.
I
just some fun facts. One of the original titles they had for this movie was "I Know What You Screamed Last Semester." So "Scream" was originally in the title at one point, but I think Dimension Films, the guys that made Scream, kind of like kiboshed that, said no, you can't actually use our name in your title.
If you went that far with "I Know What You Did Last," anything kind of that should be the same with "I Know What You Did Last Summer." Like,
but those movies aren't nearly as good, and
at this point there's only one, so
yeah, exactly. But that was one fun fact I saw. Another fun fact was it was originally, I already mentioned that it was intentionally supposed to go into theaters, and it ended up coming out after a Scary Movie, so it just got freaking steamrolled. It had no chance in hell and went straight to DVD. But yeah, that's it for my synopsis and all that stuff. I don't know if you had any more you wanted to mention.
It's just I just found it was like the jokes are so dead, like the whole time. Like they talk about the killing in the beginning. It's like, oh, kids get killed in school all the time. Yeah, but this is a white person and they were hot. Like, oh, and that's the joke.
Like I said, I just feel like it wasn't competently done. It could have been good, it just wasn't competently done. But now we can get into the good, the bad, and the ugly of the movie, which I will go to you first for the good.
The good, like I said, there's the one joke that really kind of made me smirk, not outright laugh, but that Grease one where he's like, automatic, vibe-o-matic, and he jumps up and starts dancing, and then just looking at him, and they use the F slur there.
Yeah, that's what they said. Yeah, it wasn't gay, it was the other one.
Yeah, which I was like, I know it was still happening at the time. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that I actually kind of thought, like, hey, that was a good one. I mean, the Grease joke was way out of date. Like, that's what Grease is.
It's the 70s?
It's this fucking oldest shit movie. Are you going to reference that?
But yeah, it was the best part. So that would have been my good, because that was my favorite part of the movie. But I'll just jump on. I also liked the multiple mask reveal, which I know you didn't care for.
No.
But I did like the multiple mask reveals. They were just like getting tired. Like, is it this one? Is it this one? They had like so many masks revealed. I like that. It was a good part for me. I'll go into the bad. And so we had already mentioned this. It's just the camera work is horrible. The editing, everything looked cheap, and you knew it was a cheap movie. It was just horribly done. It could have been a much better movie if it had maybe some money behind it. I think it could have been a much better movie.
Yeah, kind of on that same one is, I'm going to say specifically the props. Like, I have like the jokes, the script, and the props written down, but it's the props overall. I thought it was the worst. Like that fake deer, it never looked anything convincing. Not even close.
I don't think it was supposed
plastic
to.
lawn ornament, or like the guy's hook. Like, there's so many things that just look completely fake from the get go, and it's like, eesh, this is bad. Or I don't know what the joke was with, like, they have like the safe sex kit or whatever it was, and it's like a big old brown suitcase, and I was like, what's the joke of that? Is that the sex kit's so out of date that it's in an old suitcase like this, or it's got a bunch of toys in it, because that's why they need a big fucking. I didn't understand the joke of that, but it's just like terrible. Someone just had an old suitcase. That's why.
Maybe
that just seems why everything's.
They just threw in a bunch of random stuff into a suitcase.
Or there was something Coolio was doing in his office too, and it just looks awful. When he falls in there and gets electrocuted, his legs, the effect of the electricity going through them, just terrible. Everything's bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was quite bad. Then let's go to the ugly. If you want to do the ugly.
I got like Tom Arnold and the knockoff shitty music. I have a 2-for-1 there. Okay. Like, Tom Arnold just he's not really into it, but he's got such a main role in it. It's just weird. Like, I
don't know. I thought Tom Arnold did a decent job. I mean, he wasn't as good as like, some of the main guys. I thought he did a decent job for being in such a bad movie.
I just feel like he shouldn't have been in that prominent of a role, being the killer and stuff. Like he should have been like Artie Lang, where he has just had one scene, and that was it.
Lucky Artie Lang.
He still had his nose there. He still had his nose.
Yeah, early 2000s Artie Lang.
And then the music was also just incredibly distracting because, I guess, like you pointed out before, it was like shitty bands, but it also like sounded like they're trying to knock off songs that were popular in the 2000s.
It seemed like they were trying to, but it was just...
But it's just so bad.
Yeah. It was so off the actual, like, sound of what the song sounds like. It didn't sound like anything what it's supposed to be.
If they didn't try to knock off something more popular, I probably wouldn't have noticed as much. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you're like, oh, okay, they're doing this song. It's like, what? You're making it sound horrible and stupid.
Yeah. So my ugly goes actually in that direction. So it was like at the very end of the chase scene, and they said, this is this band's lucky break. I don't think so. I don't think that band got big. I don't know if they did anything after this movie. Don't know if they're actually a real band or not. But this definitely would not be the movie to be in to get your big break.
Yeah.
that was my ugly, because it doesn't have to be a bad thing, but it was kind of a bad thing. It was just it stood out, and it was a bad song too. It just didn't sound good. It didn't fit the moment at all. The next one I like to do is get into the online reviews. So I like to look at random people's reviews online on Letterboxd. Usually just Joe Blow down the road can say whatever they want about a movie. He likes to look at the professionals, Metacritic, sometimes Rotten Tomatoes, if he can find them.
Yeah, it was hard on this one.
So this one might be a little bit hard because it is definitely a lesser known movie. It came out in 2000 as well too, so it isn't as many back then, I would say. I'll start with my reviews. I usually go from lowest to highest for reviews. So this one is a half-star review. I wish my dad were a condom or my mother swallowed me so I didn't have to sit through this movie once I started it. That's funnier than most of the stuff in the movie. Good job, guy. That was a great line.
That was like from one of the actors saying like, "Oh, so I wouldn't have been in it."
Oh, that would have been funny too. Like Coolio was he saying this? But yeah, you wish you didn't exist so you didn't have to watch this trash. That's funny. I like that. That's why I had to put that one in there. This one is a 3-star review. It's amazing that it got up to 3 stars.
Yeah.
Hated by many, liked by me. Spoofs are very hit and miss with me, especially horror spoofs. But for some reason, Shriek If You Know What I Did Last Friday the 13th made me LOL with its silly absurdity. That's 3 stars for some reason. Okay, yeah, silly absurdity. It does that. It does have silly absurdity.
It does.
Yeah, that's what it does. So this is a 5-star review.
I was waiting for that because I was like, someone's gonna get a 5-star.
There were a few 5 stars, but I didn't like. Some of them were just so dumb. Like they were poorly written.
Yeah,
so you're like, you got idiots rating this a 5-star review, which I'm sure this person is too. But so this is my new favorite movie of all time, and I'm being completely serious about that. I need to be in the remake of this that parodies remakes. Eddie loves RuPaul. Pizza Guy gets all the pussy. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a remake of that guy.
Yeah.
Like, there was never a chance.
A remake of this? Holy shit. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, like he was saying, I get mine from, like, the professionals. I usually go for Metacritic. This movie was not on Metacritic at all. So I went to Rotten Tomatoes, usually my backup, and it did. It had some reviews, but there was like maybe 7 of them, and like most of them, like they had nothing written, and I'd even go see like, okay, what's the full review if there's nothing for like the little snapshot of it, and there's just like, this been removed. It's like the website no longer exists from the review. I was like, oh, okay.
People were just review bombing it up. That's what they were doing. They're trying to up the reviews.
I only have 3 reviews because that's all I could get, and one of them I had to translate from like Spanish or something. So we're going to go high to low. I mean, this is all there is, so it's not like I'm even picking like whatever. But yeah, so from Movie Hole, and then specifically from Caffeinated Clint. Wet Your Pants Funny, better than Scary Movie 2. Score of 3 out of 5. That's what he said. That's the highest one that had a review on there.
Yeah.
So he's the highest one. Wet Your Pants Funny? okay, I hate to be around this guy because
If you had to go, like if your bladder was full before you started this movie and you couldn't make it to the end of the movie, maybe that's why you pissed yourself.
and I'm also wondering why you said better than Scary Movie 2.
Specifically 2, not the first one, though.
Yeah, because like if this came out before the first Scary Movie, why wouldn't he be referencing that? Unless he's just a late reviewer. I don't know.
He probably didn't review it right as this movie came out.
So here's the foreign language one. I didn't translate whatever the company was called. The Cinema and Cena.
Okay.
From Pablo Valaca. I hope you said your name right. So idiotic that it makes the viewer wish eternal suffering upon everyone involved in the project. Score of 1 out of 5.
Eternal suffering. That's great. That's a good word.
I like thinking of like
eternal suffering
with an accent, like a Spanish accent, like he's cursing you kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Damn you to hell.
Damn you and your family.
Eternal. Yeah.
And then finally, real film reviews. Real is REEL, like a movie reel. Real film reviews
I see what they did there.
from David Nusser. Imagine the lamest joke you've ever heard, and then stretch it out to 1 hour and 15 minutes. That's it.
No, that's the review.
Score of 0 to 5.
Okay.
So yeah, these are the only 3 that they had on Rotten Tomatoes. No one was particularly a fan, except for the one guy.
The one guy gave it a higher review than Scary Movie 2.
You know, if I said it was Wet Your Pants Funny, I'd be like, this is like a 4.5 or 5.
Yeah, but he still only gave it a 3. I wonder what he gave Scary Movie 2 then.
Maybe he just has some bladder issues. Like
that's exactly. I pissed myself constantly throughout this movie.
You don't have to be that funny.
Yeah. So that's it for the online reviews. Next, we'd like to go into our own personal reviews of the movie. We'll start with yourself, sir.
So yeah. Oh, like lately we covered Holmes and Watson in our previous review here, and I was saying like how I don't mind if you throw things out, like if you're testing things, whatever here. Mm-hmm. But this doesn't even. It just feels like they had no clue whatsoever. There's no talent behind this trying new material. It's just throw everything out there, and yeah, this was actually kind of painful to watch for me. So I did not like it very much at all. Like I do think it could get worse. It could possibly get worse. Like if you had a little bit of the Room vibe where someone just did not know what they were doing as well. This, I feel like they kind of know what a movie's supposed to be. They're just very, very bad at it, you know?
Yeah.
But I was like, John picked this because it covers Scream, and he loves Scream, all that stuff.
Why would you think that?
I actually feel like this actually has some of the traits of, what's the other one? Cabin in the Woods. Because Cabin in the Woods, they get like, we need the jock stereotype, the slut stereotype, the
well, that's what you're,
and that's what we got.
That's
here
your
too.
That's your slasher stereotypes.
So to me, that's all like, this is all. Well, the original Scream. I'm trying to think who's.
That's the thing is Scream kind of bucked the trend. That was the whole idea of Scream, is that they were bucking the trend. They were changing the format.
So like this movie kind of does both Scream and that, which is kind of weird. But yeah, so yeah, overall, like I said, it's kind of a not enjoyable experience. Not even like boring. It's just bad. I give it a 3.5 out of 10.
Okay. I mean, I didn't like this movie. I'll say that right now. I thought there were nuggets in there that could be pulled out, that could make this movie better. It could make it a decent movie. It could make it a passable movie if things were just done in a more competent way. Unfortunately, the budgetary restrictions and the fact that the directing obviously is like they take like one take for pretty much every scene. It seemed like it's like you can tell that they like just read their lines like a minute ago and they're just reading it for the camera a lot of times. Especially the redhead girl. I thought she was terrible. She was flat. I didn't think she was very good at all.
The only thing I thought was like she had good legs. I was surprised when I saw her legs. Like, wow, she's got good looking legs, but that's about it.
Well, she's a fan of the WNBA.
Okay, this is what the movie says. And then the barber girl was like a lesbian, which it just comes out at the end for like no reason.
Yeah, I knew her from the Dexter TV series. I liked her in Dexter.
Also, so if Barbara's a lesbian, why does Slab say that she's told everyone what his penis looks like?
Well, I think she's slept with both, though. I think she's because she talked about like being so promiscuous.
Well, then she's bi. Technically,
I think she is bi. Yeah, I don't know. Don't overthink it, man. My review for it is actually a little higher than it was. It's 4.5. Still a passing, or not passing. Still a failing review. But I would say it's on par with Space Cop. That's where I'm putting it, man. Space Cop was just a fail. This one, I feel like it's got maybe slightly better production quality than Space Cop, which isn't saying much. And the jokes, I think, landed better than Space Cop than that movie did, but barely at all.
I'm surprised you think this is better than Holmes and Watson.
I did. I think it was better than Holmes and
I think
Watson.
they're close, but I was like,
no.
Holmes and Watson just a drag.
Maybe I'm just pissed off because I had to watch it twice. It burned me 2 times, so maybe I'm just that much more mad at that movie. Maybe, and also because I know that movie had such potential. I expected more from that movie, and it just let me down completely. This one, I didn't have much of an expectation for it at all.
Maybe, I guess.
So it was like, you know what? It's basically where I thought it was going to be. I knew it was going to be bad, and it's as bad as I kind of thought it was going to be.
Okay. There was like a bunch more movies that I know we're both aware of, and I was hoping he picks this bad movie instead, like the Fan Stick from 2015 or something like, that doesn't have to be mainstream, but I was like, when I heard this one, I'm like, this is like a no-name shit thing.
Yeah.
So there's like no expectation for quality here.
Yeah, exactly. So that is our review of Shriek, fill in the title. Where can we find you, sir?
I am the Lewis Lightning. You can find me on Twitch as the Lewis Lightning. That's all one word. I'll be playing something kind of current. We're really waiting for the newest batch of games that were released, or that were not released, that were discussed or shown off at State of Play, which is the start of the month. Yeah. That looked interesting. So maybe I'll be playing some of those in the future. But yeah, if you don't want something new, you can find me on YouTube as the Lewis Lightning, all one word. I got some older gameplay videos on there you can check out.
And you can find me all over the place as countryboy_9, or I'm also known as countryboy9er, where I unbox a bunch of stuff like this Ghostface that I have on my channel. You should check that out. I'm also on Instagram and on Letterboxd, where I review a bunch of stuff, and TikTok. Find me on a couple of those different channels I mentioned. You'll find me somewhere. And you can find both of us on another channel with another friend of ours called Wasted Opinions, where we talk about movies, TV shows, video games, comic books, wrestling, music, what have you, and the like. We go all over the place. We have a lot of fun on that channel.
We throw everything in there, just like this movie threw everything for jokes.
Yeah, it was just a blender. You never know what we're going to churn out next.
Hopefully we're better than this movie, though. Everything we cover.
The production quality might not be as good. I don't know.
I don't know.
But before we go, I should talk about what our next month's theme's going to be.
Yeah, I don't.
I do. Well, because Lewis made me watch that movie twice, I want to get some revenge on him. So we're doing Revenge Month. So we're doing movies about revenge in some capacity. It could be where you murder somebody and you get revenge, or maybe just you're like bullies in school and you gotta get revenge on them, sort of thing. Something like that, where there's some sort of revenge in the story.
You bought a clunker car and the guy tricked you into buying it and you get revenge. Is that a movie?
Is that a movie?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were doing like a Revenge of the Nerds thing or something.
No, I was just saying it's just something lame.
But that is going to do it for our Bad Movies Month. I hope that our reviews weren't bad. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, we certainly didn't.
We certainly had a bad time. Well, see you later. Yeah. Cool. I don't know how long that was.
Oh, still going. 48 minutes.
Mine's still going? Mine is still going. Nice. Yeah, 48 minutes. Fucking A.